Peace, peace. It's an honor to have you take time out with Consciously Aware Podcast, where thoughts breathe, truth speaks, and silence no longer hides in the shadows. This is more than conversation. It's awareness in motion, a journey through mind, spirit, and the unseen layers of life. Here we question, we feel, we rise. So open your mind, open your heart, and step into the space where conscious meets truth. Here's your host, ChillyMoe.
Hello, welcome to Consciously Aware Podcast, and this is Conscious is Change with ChillyMoe JWise. And today's episode is going to be me, JWise, talking about the recap of the last 8 episodes, and JWise is going to get into a nice, healthy conversation that all of us need to hear. And he's going to drop some notes for anybody that's listening, anybody that needs something. We're going to draw awareness to anybody that's looking for awareness. How you doing today, JWise?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good all the time, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm good all the time.
You know, I love to hear that, bro. We got to keep spreading that type of energy. You know, we had a guest today, was Negus Reign. So today I got a series of songs I want to play because he had a personal issue today. So to the audience, sorry that if anybody tuned in and looking forward to seeing my guest, but I do have the luxury of playing some of his songs today. So we're going to segue into Pray For Me, JWise. I know we just heard that before the show. What you think about that song before we segue into it?
Man, it's good. It's a good song, man. It's good music.
Yeah, I agree, bro. So, you know, like I said on our last recap show, the level of content from all the guests, we appreciate that. So, me and JWise, like I said, we speak and we always analyze our next show, and we pick all our guests off the consistency and the quality that they put out into this world. So we appreciate the effort that each artist and each individual put in. Because if you actually get on this show, it's because you actually matter and you're putting out value into this world. Because me and JWise, we want to plant seeds and create a beautiful garden of great individuals, right? You know, JWise?
All the time. That's how you reclaim the village.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
rebuilding friendships, learning how to communicate with each other. You know, we got all these different ways of communicating, and it seems like that's the last thing we do is really communicate with each other. So, that's an important part of it. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and segue into what we gotta go into with the music.
All right, so to the audience, this is Negus Reign. Pray for me.
Praying for salvation from beginning to end. But some days I'm feeling worthy, Lord, I'm stuck in despair. I've done enough, but enough is just enough if they care. It's hard to stay grounded with ain't enough love in the air. My heart is fragile as glass, to them is nothing to bear. Heavenly Father.
To the audience, I'm going to play it twice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the luxury of rewinding it. So I know this show started off kind of off with us playing the song in the middle, but it'll make sense later. So we're going to have the luxury of playing this song twice, and I'm going to let it finish out. So I think it's another verse, JWise.
All right, go with it.
Heavenly Father, I appreciate the life you gave. Mama, I appreciate the sacrifices made. Grandma Shirley, I appreciate the nights and days you prayed my sin and begin to turn to righteous ways. Despite the say I love you, sorry if I ain't been showing you. But now's the time for you to start growing through what you're going through. Jaden, I know that I've been hard on you, I've been molding you. I pray you thank me later for doing what I'm supposed to do. Jemiah, I know this is what kept me from getting close to you. Sirens, yeah, my babies, I do the most for you. DJ, we not blood, but I put my neck in the road for you. Each and every one of you special, I give my soul for you, Lord. Grant us the wisdom to walk in your purpose every day. Resonate your light through the darkness, keeping us led straight. Far from being perfect, but show us there is a better way. Lead us in our promise, we'll follow you, Jesus, let us pray. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. I'm really trying, Father, make a way for me.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so here we go. To the audience that's listening, we're going to give you the full version of the song you just heard a snippet from. And this is Pray For Me by Negus Reign. And this is Consciously Aware Podcast presents Conscious is Change with ChillyMoe and JWise.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 16. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Somebody sing, Mama. Yeah.
I've been blinded by the lights, caught up in the fame. My heart is not the same. My happiness been altered by the pain. Deep down inside, I know it's me. I gotta change. With every shot I take, I feel I'm moving out of range. Fighting with my demons daily, can't escape this trap. Trying to move forward, but I keep on going back. It seems I keep derailing when I'm trying to get on track. Lessons that I thought I learned is probably where I lack. Father, hear my plea. I'm begging for your grace. Can you help me find my way? I'm lost. Put me in my place. I know I strayed away from your guidance without a trace, but I'm searching for redemption while I'm in this empty space. Burdens getting heavy, temptations on my shoulder. My thoughts keep pacing, they be racing like a vulture. Stress is getting hotter and my faith is getting colder. Days is getting shorter as my baby's getting older. So somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. I'm really trying, Father, make a way for me. Forgive me, Father, I've been lost within sin. Entangled in the web, I don't know where to begin. I've been chasing empty dreams with conviction to win. I've been praying for salvation from beginning to end. But some days I feel unworthy, Lord, I'm stuck in despair. I've done enough, but enough is just enough if they care. It's hard to stay grounded with ain't enough love in the air. My heart is fragile as glass, to them is nothing to bear. Heavenly Father, I appreciate the life you gave. Mama, I appreciate the sacrifices made. Grandma Shirley, I appreciate the nights and days you prayed my sin and begin to turn to righteous ways. Despite the say I love you, sorry if I ain't been showing you. But now's the time for you to start growing through what you're going through. Jaden, I know that I've been hard on you, I've been molding you. I pray you thank me later for doing what I'm supposed to do. Jemiah, I know this is what kept me from getting close to you. Zaire and Zaire, yeah, my babies, I do the most for you. DJ, we not blood, but I put my neck in the road for you. Each and every one of you special, I give my soul for you, Lord. Grant us the wisdom to walk in your purpose every day. Resonate your light through the darkness, keeping us led straight. Far from being perfect, but show us there is a better way. Lead us in our promise, we'll follow you, Jesus, let us pray. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. It's getting harder every day for me. Somebody pray for me. I'm really trying, Father, make a way for me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the ones there, bro. One of the ones. How you feeling? You good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I liked it that, man. I was
Okay.
thinking of the song while I was thinking about situations I had at work. You know,
Uh-huh.
I think the one thing I have in common is workplace stresses. I
Yeah.
think what you do, whether you're in entertainment, whether you're in sports, if you got a job and you have to work it, you go through some kind of stress. Even the jobs people love, people say, if you love your job, you never have to work a day in your life. Yeah, whatever. But I think the thing I learned with my little stress I was going through, is that sometimes you never know who going through that same stress, and it may not be the same as far as problem wise or the reason you stress, but people can share in the same stress that you sharing in, even if it's personalized for you and it may be directed at you. That it also brings stress to other people around you. And sometimes I think in dealing with that stress, you have to find some kind of to way to laugh at it, or maybe not so much laugh at it, but find something positive in something that's like negative. You know what I mean? And in my situation, I relied on, my coworkers, because even though sometimes it be your coworkers that maybe stress you out, you got other coworkers that help bring you up, you know. So I think one of those things that I think I've learned is to understand that sometimes when certain pressures is put on you individually, that sometimes it's stress to other people around you too. You know, just the shared experience, with your coworkers and the people you work with. Because, you spend a little more time with your coworkers sometimes than you do with your family. So sometimes you create bonds with people. So, you when you're dealing with things, sometimes those people dealing with those same things you dealing with, even if it don't directly affect them, you know. So I just had a different way of looking at things lately, dealing with my workplace stress. And and I hate to call it stress because it's a day to day, maneuvering and operating, that we go through every day. It's like putting your pants on. You got to do that every day, especially if you plan on going outside. So, I just think moving forward, looking at situations sometimes and understanding that it's not done to you, sometimes it's done with you, and I think understanding that makes it easier to deal with that stress because it's a collective stress. But accomplishing the goals, along the way, even if it's just collecting your paycheck at the end of the week, but you get to a finer point where you find that balance where sometimes the stress is not as stressful, even though it's there.
To the audience, I want to segue into GIW. And everything Jay Wise is mentioning it's all self-conflicted in the sense of we all have choices, right? And we have to choose the company we hold, the places we go, and the things we think about. So to the audience that's listening on Consciously Aware Podcast presents Conscious Exchange, I want to segue and recap GIW. God is willing. God, I'm willing.
Yeah, the world's coming to an end, and God's the only one that can save us. We have to change our ways now. There's no other option.
Kill the beat.
If we don't start living the right way and start living for the right purposes, then things will never get better. I'm God, I'm willing. Let's do it. Yeah.
Welcome to the apocalypse. The word stopping the much from your hands. They got put me on the planet to perplex. The devil got me back in the demons on vessel level. Saying righteous to Christ until the lead the vote. They don't care about pain, but it's the joking. And this wicked destitute of a desolate planet. Got put in so much work, doing going damn it. Carnivorous cravings and miraculous reasons. Got to the death smoke, drip away the heathens. It's like a number like with the pack and the track and never rap and never track. That we having a backtrack, don't need the gimmick. God's giving the word so we can make it clear to you so you wake up and learn. There's signs all around, got the prayer in his arm. Put it in AOG, no clowning like a carny. Put it inspected with the perpetual power. Started hit him with the comment was a common conundrum. Said the kid with the bars, no motivation reason. Never chased the cause, yeah, I'm still believing the name's God. I'm with it with the do what it takes to make a mockery of God is a major mistake. Name's God, I'm with it with the do what it takes to make a mockery of God is a major mistake. It's the end of times, yes, the end of times. To get the rap faster to convey the lines. It's the end of times, yes, the end of times. God's got the master plan in his time and not mine. It's the end of times, yes, the end of times. To get the rap faster to convey the lines. It's the end of times, yes, the end of times. God's got the master plan in his time and not mine. End of times, yes, the end of times. I get the rap faster to convey the lines. It's the end of times, yes, the end of times. God's got the master plan in his time and not mine. It's the end of times, yes, the end of times. I get the rap faster to convey the lines. It's the end of times, yes, the end of times. God's got the master plan in his time and not mine.
So, to the audience that's listening, and to everybody in the world that's going through something, take time out and write down a lot of your thoughts and just try to jot down certain things that you value throughout your days, especially if you don't have anybody that you can go to on a consistent basis that will understand who understand the things you're going through that can help you through situations. So me and JWise created this podcast so we can have an open platform for people that's ready to vent and speak about their problems. So I'm just reiterating on the workforce and the work environment, JWise.
Yeah, man, it's crazy you say what you said. You know, sometimes you got to become a what I would call a healthy stranger. You know, sometimes the best people to vent to is a stranger because sometimes it's hard to vent to people that you love and you care about because sometimes they take that energy as you inflicted that on them. But you know, sometimes I find myself being somebody people can vent to, and I understand where it's coming from, and I know people need that release. So sometimes, finding a what I call, like I say, a healthy stranger, because not everybody you can vent to, but like you said, man, writing something down, and sometimes I when I get frustrated, I doodle. You know, I start drawing and stuff, and I think everybody can find something they do to relieve stress where you're not harming somebody or yourself. So taking time out, like you said, that's like really really important, especially if you have a stressful job. And sometimes it's hard to run from the stress, but you still got to find some way to relieve the stress from yourself, so you can still, be active, and still have a good work day.
Let me ask you, is there anything that you do personally for yourself that kind of guides you through the days? Because I know me, I'll take at least 10 minutes to myself and I'll probably go in the corner and just kind of go over all the things I did in the last 10 minutes or maybe in the last hour. And then write down things I might have to remember the next hour, right? instead of overcrowding my mind, because I think sometimes we get frustrated when we overcrowd ourselves with too many things, even though we can accomplish it and finish all our goals. But it's very good to strategically plan them, right? And knock them out, at a good time, and never overwhelm myself, because I believe in every task. If it's 3 hours, we should at least take an hour to ourselves. So I try my best to incorporate that. I'm not saying I'm successful, because we have obligations on a consistent basis that deal with time, so we don't have time to waste, right? And in the work environment that we share, to the audience that was paying attention to the last show, me and JWise is an industrial environment. That's our workplace, and that's a consistent basis. So we don't really find a lot of time to have our time to ourselves. So explain the level of discipline you need to be grounded in a fast-paced environment, JWise, if you don't mind. And then we'll segue into one of Negus Reign's songs, and that's the guest that was supposed to be on the show, but he had a personal issue to anybody in the world, and we're going to send out some blessings on this show, and JWise going to end us with a note. And yeah, so we're gonna finish that off. But yeah, if you want to explain to the audience, JWise, the level of discipline and energy you need to um, consistently 7 days a week can apply your time to a fast-paced environment.
Two things. One, sometimes the people that kind of tick you off or get under your skin, me personally, I make up stories about them in my head. Funny stories, stuff that's probably like wildly over the top or outrageous or just downright crazy. And I put them people in them stories and I'm able to laugh at them in my head. So when I deal with them in person, it's not as intense because I got this silly thought in my head about this person. It might be the way they laugh or the way they talk, the voice, So a lot of times dealing with people who frustrate you or kind of make your job hard, it's almost like the water boy, where the guy told him, visualize an attack. So sometimes, like when people get under my skin, oh, I make up a story about them in my head, and something that'll make me laugh, and it's like I say, it makes it easier to deal with that person. And sometimes I'm not even, I don't even exchange the same energy that sometimes people have for you in the workplace. So I'm never truly get mad or angry at somebody personally, and I never really try to let the job personally get to me because I know it's a business, and I go into it with a business mind state. You develop personal relationships, but that, at the end of the day, it's about business. So it's a lot of things where I won't let that aspect affect me in that way, especially being somebody who worked in the industrial uh, industry for the amount of time I have.
That's a good concept. So over the years, you're saying you adapt a great way of kind of maneuvering around different people, because the turnover rate in industrial, and I'm sure in a lot of businesses, is very high. So once you create a bond with somebody, right, then you have to deal with another person if that person gets fired. So you still have to have that inner balance, right, that you always speak on. So I'm glad you pointed that out on today's episode. So we down to our last 6 minutes, and I want to intro Negus Reign's song. I think I'm gonna play "Reap What You Sow" because he told me that was a song that he really valued the most. So to the audience that's listening, this is Consciously Aware Podcast presents Consciousness Change, and I'm ChillyMoe. This JWise, of course. And our guest wasn't here today and is only on personal reasons, but we have the luxury of playing some of his songs. So I'm going to intro into Reap What You Sow by Negus Reign.
careful of your every action. We never know what could happen. We reap what we sow. We reap what we sow.
I was birthed in the fire, but my soul still intact. Satan posed an attack, I'm clutching with my rosary at. I'm a diamond in the rough, cut from a broken home. Every loss I took taught me to hold my own. Mama crying in the kitchen, I was cooking up hope. I struggled to stay afloat, tossed me a hook in the rope. Looked through the smoke and I found myself going through rage. Faith relieving me, yeah, these deities were blowing no sage. They say my dreams are facade, my vision a mirage. I painted perfect pictures till I'm building a collage. Turned losses into lessons once I got in the game. I was bred a gladiator, all united in the tank. I was raised with the sun don't shine, the darkness is dominant. Survivors and accomplishments, staying heartless is prominent. I wrestle with my demons like SmackDown Live, I'm built different. I got the never back down pride, I reap what I sow.
Careful of your every action. We never know what could happen. We reap what we sow. We reap what we sow.
Comparison's the thief of joy, and I'ma tell my story, regardless of the actions taken to provoke my glory. Reaping what I sow, increase the contrast so I glow. Everyone around me straight the path, that's so I had to go. Separate yourself from every person, losing focus. Broken souls induce destruction, healthy statements help devotion. Acknowledge every flow superfluous, detach the quotients and dividends that keep you deviating from certain notions. Keep your head above your collarbone, that be my motto. Don't be magnetized to spread the energy of sorrow. Feel the breeze, we puffing trees and gas until tomorrow. Wandering because I got no patience left to borrow. Kaleidoscope, I'm peeping everything you blind to see. Appreciate the freedom cause one day we have to flee. Analyze the message cause my verses be the key. Reaping what I sow, I pray to God while on the need.
Be careful of your every action. We never know what could happen. We reap what we sow. We reap what we sow.
Dreams die young and failure's a pesticide. So I water mine daily in order to testify. I'm like yeast on the beats, add heat and I'm set to rise. My mind is weaponized, I stretch my investment like exercise. Lyrical cardio, hit hard as cardio. Give me too much room, I'll be bigger than Mario. During this tragedy, I'm glad to be an impresario. Once a spring, it's like Primo DiMaggio. Every scar on my soul define me just like a treasure map. I got a heart full of gold and I'm grateful that I'm blessed with that. I'm broken in spirit, not the death of my genes. Patching holes in my self-esteem for whatever it means to better my team and lead them with the separate queen. And royalty, you never seen a peasant next to a king. So I gotta clean up my act and make my presence pristine. Before death intervene, I'm at peace. Bless Elohim, I reap what I sow.
Be careful of your every action. We never know what could happen. We reap what we sow. We reap what we sow.
Hey, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mo.
I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead and talk to me.
Man. Yeah, I know my man, some things happened today, so, but wow. That's all I'm gonna say right now is wow. I liked it that, bro. I liked
Yeah.
it.
You know what? I had a good conversation with him, and he did not want to cancel tonight's show, but he gave me the luxury of playing his songs, and you definitely gonna enjoy talking to him. So
Yeah, man, I can't wait for that one, bro. I gotta find out what's the inspiration behind that.
yeah, man, I think he's close to being signed too. So he's actually pushing his music and doing it seriously and putting a lot of effort into it. So to everybody that's listening, this is one of those shows where we're just recapping, and we recapped G.I. Dub, which is God I'm Willing, and we play this song, which I think a lot of people still like, and I still like, and me and JWise kind of make it a regular on this show.
Oh yeah.
But and these last minutes, like I tell everybody, this is my favorite part of the show where JWise leave us with a healthy note. something that draws awareness to our conscious. And this is Consciously Aware Podcast. And this is Conscious Change with ChillyMoe JWise. And yeah, I'm glad we're here. So JWise, if you want to finish this show out, I appreciate it, sir. And I am ChillyMoe. This is Consciously Aware Podcast presents Conscious Change. We appreciate our audience. We appreciate our guests. And Negus Reign, JWise, and me, we cannot wait to sit with you, sir. And we're going to probably make one of your songs a regular on this show. What you think about that, JWise?
Oh, definitely, man. Reaping what you sow, bro. Definitely. Yeah, I liked that, bro. But let me leave him with something. You know, we spoke a little bit today about workplace stress. And the one thing I think the audience should understand that we all dealing with something. We all going through something. You know, everybody's problem not as big, some of them not as small, some of them's consistent. We don't know, you know. So I think in taking care of yourself, be sure to take care of the ones around you, you know. And I know a lot of times we prioritize so many things that we forget that we important too, you know. So always understand that the workplace is going to be the workplace, but you're not going to always be you. So understand that you have to get along to go along. And that don't always mean, you know, you have to be agreeable or you always have to do what's said. Sometimes you have to do it because you still got to work, you still got to eat. So with that being said, let's reclaim the village. Let's try and hold on to each other. Let's try and build something together. You know, we tear down enough. You know, this world is looking pretty rough. Let's try and build. We start by networking, start being more consciously aware of what's around us and who we are and what we are to other people. Go ahead, Mo.
You've been listening to Consciously Aware Podcast with your host, ChillyMoe, where voices awaken and awareness takes root. Carry these words with you. Let them echo beyond this moment, because truth only lives when it is lived out loud. Until next time, stay awake, stay present, and always remain consciously aware.